for this exercise, I'm going to have you look at a couple of film clips from the classic 1935 horror movie, The Bride of Frankenstein. Now, it's my guess that most of you have not seen this movie. Most of my students have not until I show them these clips, and then they, of course, run out and watch it immediately. The Bride of Frankenstein is the second in the Frankenstein series from the 30s. The first one, just called Frankenstein from 1931, was considered to be one of the scariest movies ever made for American audiences. And this sequel, The Bride of Frankenstein, made 4 years later, is considered one of the most successful sequels ever made in film history. It's also considered to be an absolute classic in terms of the styling and the skill with which the movie was made. At any rate, you still ought to watch it because it is a classic. Favorite of mine since I was a kid, I have to confess. But there are some great images here of both theology and some other important things related to our course. And so I'll have you take a look at those and respond in your small groups, hopefully triads, after you've watched this. But let me give you some setup here so that you know what you're walking into when you see this film clip. In the first movie, just called Frankenstein, as the story goes, you may be familiar, Dr. Frankenstein, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, has been experimenting with trying to create life, and he cobbles a body together with parts from dead people. And through electricity generated by lightning, the creature comes to life, but there's something wrong with his brain, and he wreaks havoc all over the place, mostly by accident, and terrifies the countryside. And at the very end of the movie, he and Dr. Frankenstein have a big fight in a windmill, and the townspeople have come to get rid of the monster, and they set fire to the windmill, and the monster, as far as they know, has perished. It burns down, it collapses into itself, and the townspeople go home to be safe in their beds. But not so. In the second movie, The Bride of Frankenstein, as it opens up, it's the scene of that burned windmill, and down in the very murky depths of the basement filled with water emerges from the shadows the monster. He's been hiding away all this time. He's burnt. He's in agony. And he's alone. He doesn't know what to do. He escapes again. He gets out. He goes into the countryside, but he's captured. And the townspeople take him in. He's put into a dungeon, and he is chained up. But he breaks the chains. They cannot hold him. And he gets away and once again roams the countryside, terrifying people. And soon we meet him lost in the woods. He's alone. He's terrified. He reaches out to people from time to time to try to find comfort and friendship. To no avail. They're frightened of him and they run away. And in the scenes that you're about to watch, as he's running through the woods, not knowing what to do, where to go, starving to death, he hears a sound, and he's drawn to a small cabin in the woods. So now go to these videos, watch them both, and then walk through the assignment below. You'll see the due date on there, which is the end of the week, and post your conversation on there. And I hope you have a good time with this.